The Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast, presented by Clovercrest Media, is what you AEW fans have been looking for. Noah Cross and Tyler Bard give their take on every week's episode of Dynamite. If you are a massive AEW fan, then it is time to join us every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Stay Cross'em.
Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Can you believe it?
It hasn't happened at Fenway Park for 95 years.
Fires. Swing and a miss. Strike three. It's over. The Red Sox have won the world championship.
Tune in to the newest show presented by Clovercrest Media. It's Obi's Backstop Podcast. Catch it twice a week, every Red Sox series finale on your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome to Ivy League Murders. On this podcast, we focus on cases affiliated with the Ivy League, exploring the darker side of higher education. What happens when genius becomes evil? My name is Sarah Alcorn. I'm a Harvard graduate, and I've been a private investigator since 1999. Join me and longtime crime diva Laura McDonald for Ivy League Murders.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Speaking It Real. I'm your host, Frank, with my co-host, Carlos.
What's up? What's up? Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. You know, when you see our faces, the weekend is upon us, and we got a whole boatload of news from the week, so we get to just rap about it and just spitfire all the crap that's happened during the week. And there's been a lot this week. It's been a great week. I don't think we're not going to be able to touch it all. I'll be honest, some of it's going to have to carry over to next week, but
I think hopefully it's a good show. We have so much stuff on the menu that I don't even know how we're going to start to get this going. But hey, look, I do
got some hellos in the comment section. What's up?
What's up? I do tell you guys, hey, let's start by just sharing this. Tag anybody you feel like it. Anybody you feel that they want to, or that you need, or they need to listen to our show. Whether you like them, whether you don't like them, it doesn't really matter.
Hey, Catherine.
You know, at a given moment, we're all gonna relate to our topics. I mean, it just like this show's nuts today.
Yeah. It gets fun.
It will be fun. I mean, I think we're gonna start off first. I mean, I want to start off with.
Wait, Frank, I just noticed something. Show everybody what you got behind you. That's that shirt, isn't it?
Which one?
The Speak to Me. Move the other way. Yeah. That's a great shirt, everybody. Read that. If you see that shirt, speak to me in person like you would on Facebook. Ain't that the realest thing you've ever heard?
Speak to me in person the same way you do on Facebook.
Exactly. That's probably one of the biggest problems we have is people like they get brave on social media, but when you meet face to face or you talk, it's a different animal.
Well, actually, I
love that.
Actually, I'm going to tell you who I got that shirt from.
From who?
That shirt actually came from I'll piss you off shortly from Rob Benjamin's show.
Yeah. All right.
You know, and then we got over here.
It's a great motto. I like it.
Yeah, we have over here the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show.
There you go.
That's another CMG podcast network. Yeah, that's another one of our podcasts on the CMG network. But you know,
Anita likes it. I'm telling you, that's a great little phrase. I love it.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's. Again, those are the things that we need to learn to do.
So to
a
everyone
lot of people have hidden behind social media.
Yeah, to everyone here, we just handpick a couple stories. Frank and I, we just talk it out. And, we definitely welcome the comment section to interject. We do the best we can to pluck comments out. What we're doing here is just basically trying to bring back the fun in conversation. It's a lost art, and we're trying to bring it back. I mean, it's kind of weird that we have a show dedicated to conversing. Like, that's something that used to be pretty natural. And people are losing the art. People are losing the talent to do it. So we're trying to just do it, and the more people join in, the better. So, Frank, what's on your mind?
Oh boy, where do I start?
I don't know.
You know what? I think we're gonna start off the show the same way I wanted to start it.
Go for it.
You know, we're gonna go with politics and friendship.
No, politics. Oh no.
No, yeah. Well, it's
and friends. All right.
right. Politics.
Wait. Is this another tragedy in the personal life of Frank?
Of course. What else would it be? No,
Frank. I gotta wonder, man. Is it your friends or is it you, bro? Be honest. Is it you? Are you the problem?
Well, according to this individual, as much as I want to use his name, I'm not going to use it.
No, let's not blow anybody up. That's not what we're about.
But you know what? I would love to, but I won't do that because
Nah.
It's not the route I want to go. It's not the route that we're promoting.
Yeah, no, that's not what we're here for. Go ahead. What happened?
Just a slight history.
It's Frank.
Exactly. A slight history on my relationship with this individual. I've known this person for about over 30 years.
Wow, it's about as long as me. Okay.
Yeah, no, I've known you longer, but he was actually, there's Laura.
Laura,
he was actually,
Laura's my girl. Woo. Go on, buddy.
He was married to a cousin of mine.
All right.
They split up.
Okay.
This side of the family, meaning my side, we still stayed in contact with them for a long time. I mean, we figured, hey, look, you guys got divorced. You divorced her. You didn't divorce us, or one or the other. No big deal. The guy went through tragedy in his life. I was there for him, and when I say that is, he had an accident. People lost lives.
Wow. All right.
I was there, where I stayed in his house for about good 2-3 months, taking care of the guy. So it wasn't just, I was just staying there just to stay there. No, I took care of him. I never agreed the way he lived his life. Never in my life.
We all have that friend. I hear you.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I was still friends with the guy.
Yeah, and that's actually good on you. I mean, you're not one to pass judgment like that. You were patient.
Correct.
You did what you could, considering the objections. I mean, that's true friend right there. Accepting someone's imperfections, that makes you a damn good friend. So props. But go on.
Oh yeah.
Don't lie.
Don't lie. So I was there for this individual, and throughout the years, wasn't just that one time. Well, was he there for me at times? Yes, he was.
Okay.
I won't take that away. Our friendship wasn't a one-way street. Now, I want to say maybe the past 8-9 years, maybe we haven't, we've spoken, but we haven't spoken much. We've communicated a lot on social media, a lot more.
Uh-oh. That's where all the problems begin.
Yeah, I think so. But, he changed his life around. He found Jesus,
Amen.
And that's fine. Yeah, I mean, he got religious on me. I'm not religious at all. I don't really care for it. He's very Republican. Again, I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
All right.
But, we've gone back and forth on Facebook.
Okay.
On different views. No problem. It happens. And I get a text message from him the other day.
Here it comes.
No, as a matter of fact, what? I'm going to read it.
Oh, no.
I know, because you know what? I wonder if I overreacted or if I didn't overreact. But I do think that
you have come to the right place, Frank. I am here.
Yeah, no, this is,
understand your actions.
I think what I'm going to do going forward, I think I'm going to change the name of the show and just call it Therapy Session with Carver. You know, because that's all the crap that happens. He goes, I get a message. Hey, in order to protect our friendship, I have decided to block you on Facebook. Your political views, your political views.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Your political views and God's belief are way different than mine. Plus, as you have proven before, you don't like people to offend you. Again,
Well, you
this
said that
doesn't
on the show
mean
too,
I don't
Frank.
value you, but I think it's best.
All right.
Okay, that's what he wrote me.
All right.
And it's my reply to him was, views don't offend me. I get offended when people insult me.
Naturally. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm like, don't get it twisted. But that's your choice to block me. I find it effed up, but that's your damn choice. I can tell you that I have never agreed with your religious views, but that has never crossed my mind to block you. I've always stood behind you when you've needed anything, but that's how you feel, and it's just fine. In life, I don't need I don't need anyone to be happy nor live my life. I don't give an F who walks in and out of my life. Do what makes you happy and good.
So
Which I do.
I think here's what's going on, man. The fact that this decision was passed on to you via text, and the fact that the decision was based on Facebook, the bottom line is social media across the board, and that's why I love your shirt back there. Social media has allowed for all of us to do and say and decide things without feeling the sting of direct human communication. So it's easy for me to send you a text, send you a message, whatever, telling you, hey, go screw yourself, because I don't have to look at you and I don't have to hear you. All I got to do is hit send and turn around. And so, I bet you had he had that, he wouldn't have had that conversation with you to your face, or it would have gone much more different. But we're at a point now where people say all kinds of crap, and they don't feel the consequences of things they do or say. And in this case, it's not even a consequence. He made a decision, but it was much easier to make that decision because he didn't have to face you. And that's kind of where we are. So you told me all these things, and it was some pretty deep stuff. And yet, because of the fact that I can easily just dismiss you without having to hear your voice or look at your face, that's where we are. That's where we are. But at the same time, and Catherine may have a slight point here. I don't think he's dismissing you completely as a friend. He just doesn't agree with what you're posting. He doesn't agree with your views. And, maybe, I guess, in my opinion, he might be a little snowflakish about it, but he just doesn't want to see it. And that's kind of his right. That's kind of his right. So I wouldn't go that far. I mean, have you spoken to him since?
No.
To him? No?
No.
And has he reached out to you?
No.
Well, why don't you clarify it? I think you should clarify it. Clarify it with him.
Let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
So
there's more.
I kind of there was a lot more, because I was like, it's one of those that, when Trump got censored by social media, he had a fit. Complete fit. But that's fine. All right. The conversation is not that. But I go to him, I guess I got censored. I go, how ironic. I guess you're censored.
Oh, look at you trying to be.
So I got the dude, grow up. But I kind of I threw a little jab there just for BS,
Right.
And he goes, grow up, and I'm like, grow up. I'm very grown. And a couple other things that don't really need to be mentioned. I mean, nothing outrageous.
Yeah, everything.
But I did tell him I'm trying to make it G-rated. I did mention to him though. I said, by the way, thank you for giving me my next topic on my show.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know what? A true friend
Yeah.
will support what you're doing.
I mean, Frank,
He hasn't supported my show or our show.
Of course not. I mean, if he can't see your posts, I don't think he's going to want to sit down and listen to the show and hear you say some of the things you post.
Yeah, but this is a misconception. If you sit here and you listen to this show, you're going to understand what the show really is. Do we talk politics?
No, it's true.
Yes.
Right. I understand the premise of the show, but it's to the point where he just doesn't want to hear your point of view. He doesn't want to read it either. And again, I like to play devil's advocate. On one hand, I feel that's kind of snowflakish, but that's me. But on the other hand, he's got that right. So
no, he has the right.
Yeah. Now
he has all the right, and I don't take that away from him. It's a little bit. It's hurtful.
It hurts because of what you've done for him. I get
somebody that was considered.
I understand that. Right.
Right. And that is what hurts because
yeah.
If it's just Joe Blow off the street,
yeah,
I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, now that you put it that way, it's just like I said. It goes back to what I said before. It's easy to be petty now because I don't have to deal with you directly. I don't have to hear it from you. Don't need to see your face. If I want to dismiss you, just press a few buttons and hit send and call it a day. And that has made it easier for people to just dismiss, talk smack, name it. Everybody's more brazen when they don't have to feel the effects of the stuff they say or do. And so that's kind of what's going on, man. And I feel bad. I mean, I've been, I've seen friends of mine, disappear because I know I'm a pain in the butt on Facebook and I really don't care.
Carlos,
I think we had this conversation.
Carlos.
What?
You've been a pain in the butt since I've known you.
Yeah, you're right. But see, we're still friends.
We're still friends, and that's what makes our show. Okay, our show goes back to the same thing.
Yeah, I know there was a World War III almost broke out on our board the other night with I think an article that Laura posted. That was beautiful. It was like fireworks. I felt like I was like evil laughter watching everybody just go at each other, but. That's part of it right there. It's just people what it is also, and this is something for everyone to think about. Like, we love to have Facebook and all these other things reaffirm what we believe. And so at some point we warp it to where everything we see and all the messages just repeat whatever it is we agree with. And so when you got someone like me or you that comes in with like wrenches, you get rid of it because it makes my phone uncomfortable when I see stuff I don't agree with. That's seriously like deep-rooted stuff, but that's what's going on also.
No, I mean, it's true. I mean, I get
like your own echo chamber right here in your pocket. That's straight up what people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not having a filter. There you go. And so, just like Anita, I mean, oh Lord, Carlos, we'll get into that next week, buddy. Boy, your brother is like relentless. I love him. But that's what's going on, man. People on these phones or on Facebook and social media, it's all about creating your own echo chamber. And to me, that weakens diverse thought, that weakens conversation. It deteriorates our ability to talk. And that's why you and I are actually podcasting on conversation. Really, dude. That's what's going on. Straight up. That's what's going on.
But, my question out there is, was I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think it's a right or wrong issue, Frank. Again, he has a right to feel, and you also have a right to feel. You felt like you had done some things that warranted your more importance in your friendship with him. And he may, but he's so, I don't want to say triggered because I know that's an insult, but he's just triggered, I guess, by some of your posts and your point of views, and he just doesn't want to deal with it. And like Catherine said, he may not have completely dismissed you. He's just tired of hearing what you believe, but you haven't spoken to him since. So I can't, we can't verify whether he gave you the boot or just doesn't want to see you on Facebook. But we're all going through that. I'm sure everybody in the comments section has had 2, 3, 5 friends that are just like, you know what, I'm done with you. And for pettiness, for bull crap, because you can't see an opinion or a post that you agree or disagree with. It's sad, but whatever. At the end of the day, those of us are people who actually find more worth in who you are and what you represent will stick around. Frank, I think you post some of the dumbest shit sometimes, but dude, you're my friend. I don't care. And that's where that's where you start to filter out, genuine people from the weaklings. You weed out the weak ones.
For sure.
So there you are, buddy. That's my cinco centavos.
That's your take, your take for the day. Yeah, it is what it is. Life will get back on course, and just
keep being. You know what though? More importantly, friends do come and go, but more importantly, you just be happy with who you are, and that's that, man.
Oh, listen,
that's all it is. That's the main deal.
Am I happy with who I am? Of course I am. That happened. I was bothered the first day, because damn, somebody that I've known for years, somebody that frankly they love me or hate me kind of person. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah. All right. But just keep doing you, buddy. That's all it is to it.
Yeah. So, in other news, we'll get
now we're going to attack the world. Let's do this.
Yeah, you know what? Start off with coronavirus.
Well,
Laura, we're gonna get to the kids in the detention centers later on.
Oh, don't worry, Laura. We got that served up later. Coronavirus. Look, at this point, I believe you shared a story with me about Israel, and kudos to them. They are having a successful drive. They are getting a lot of their people inoculated. They're taking their shots, but now we're also dealing with variants. I'm hearing that there's probably mutations coming from, I think, South Africa and another one from Great Britain or something. It's a virus. This is why what I find frustrating is this whole hope one day, despair the next. You don't need a mask. You need 2 masks. The constant confusion is irritating. And that's why, again, I'm not surprised you have people just completely frustrated, fed up, and not giving a damn anymore because no one has an answer. The experts sound like the dumbest people in the room sometimes. It's frustrating. It's annoying. And so, in Israel, that was the example. But in one breath, they're telling you how great things are and how they've almost got the whole country with vaccine. And then in the next breath, they got 7,000 new infections a day and 5,000 people have died in January. So what is it? Are we getting better or not?
I think we are getting better. I just don't think that we're going to see, all the results, from one day to the next or 1 month to the next. It's going to take
exactly. But so what's going?
Do I agree with Israel a minute with giving badges to people and saying, "Hey, look, here's your card saying you have been vaccinated."
I find it ironic that they're giving badges. Israel and badges is not. They don't have a good relationship. They've had a pretty bad history.
Yeah, but
it's Israel giving them out this time. So
right. But really looking at it, I would prefer to, because remember the badge is being issued obviously as proof of vaccination. Okay.
Oh Lord. Go on.
All right. So that is you have, hey, look, I've been vaccinated. So we're good.
Right.
That's just the way I feel about it. Maybe it could start getting us to not wear these freaking masks.
Yeah, but there's always something new. Look, Peasant here decided to chime in, and he's like, "Oh, if Trump would have been honest from the beginning, we would all, there'd be no confusion." That's a load of crap. The very same expert has been telling us. First, he told us we didn't need masks. Then he told us we're going to need them. Then he said we may not. Now he's telling us 2022. They're following the science. The science is always changing. I get irritated when people like conveniently throw out the term "follow the science." Science is never really completely settled unless it becomes law, like gravity. So, following the science is a loaded crap term. We have gotten messages ranging from it's going to be okay to 15 days to flatten the curve. We're already on like week 52 on that. So it's just a virus. We just got to do what we can. But I am still in the camp where shutting down the country is not a good idea. And I'm further irritated by that inconsistency too. We have small businesses. We have small businesses all over the place shutting down because of lockdowns. But hey, we can all get crammed up in a Walmart or a Best Buy. That's garbage. That's garbage. That's totally inconsistent.
Okay, but wait. But we haven't had much shutdowns. Okay, I'm sorry, but
no. Because we live in Florida and we have a Republican governor. All right, these idiots.
That doesn't matter.
States, it does.
That doesn't matter because listen, the mayors of the city here were the ones that were dictating what were going on.
You're right. And in your neck of the woods, I know it was bad. Up here, it wasn't that bad.
Okay, out here, it's bad. Now, it's, do I agree with, we're shutting down right now? At this point, it's too late to shut down.
Sweden never shut down. Their numbers are not that much worse than anybody else's.
I don't know Sweden's numbers.
I kept hearing that, and I did read it to us. I mean, they had some rules, but they didn't shut businesses down as far as I know. I mean, and then, of course, you have the other extreme, like New York, where that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, New York's a little different right now.
That's a whole nother story. We'll get to that later. But here, I mean, we were pretty reasonable about how we did it. And that's why DeSantis has come out on top on some of this coronavirus stuff. The messages are never going to be concrete. And unfortunately, like everything else, even the messaging on how to handle the virus has become political. So it just depends on who you're listening to. But
Laura, you know what? Hold on. I have a question for Laura. Laura, Boston is completely shut down, meaning you can't get nothing. I mean, what exactly shut down? What is it? Just you only have your supermarket, doctor's office open. There's no work. There's no nothing. I mean, obviously there is something going on because I don't think that you could be completely shut down. Because
schools.
Okay, schools. You know what? I agree with schools being shut down. I mean, I know it's rough on the parents,
but they're the ones that they're the ones that spread it the least. Schools.
But it's not open. Okay. But this is the problem. Okay, we spoke about it about 2 weeks ago. I want to say,
yeah.
You open up schools. All right. You have the kids that go to school. Somebody's sick. They bring it home. If you have an elderly person that lives in that house, or somebody has underlying issues in that house, then they're gonna go ahead and get sick and get the brunt of it.
There's just been no consistency, and I think the issue for me personally, I agree with letting the states handle it. For example, I think South Dakota didn't really shut down, or they may have had some restrictions, but they were pretty open versus a place like New York. However, you're dealing with a city of 8, 9, 10 million people versus South Dakota, which is pretty rural all the way around. So the needs per state are different, and I'm cool with states handling it. What I don't like, though, is this inconsistency where mom and pop restaurants and stores and shops, they're the ones that are getting hammered with fines and all this crap. But I could still go to Publix. I could still go to Walmart, still go to Costco. These are big places, and they're crammed with people, and yet they stayed open. Why is big business getting the shaft? Or I'm sorry, small business. Why are they getting the shaft while big business gets to stay open? It's that when you start seeing those inconsistencies, I get irritated.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's crap. And so nobody believes anything that comes out of anybody's mouth from Washington. And Fauci himself has been all over the map.
So
he told us at one point we may not need masks, and then he's gone all the way up to saying we may need to wear 2 of them. The man himself can't make any sense. It's so I'm not. I get.
He's
get
made
irritated.
a lot more sense recently,
Oh.
But
Yeah.
But anyways, let's not get you irritated.
No, I'm irritated.
What do you think about your buddies in China?
Who?
Your buddies in China.
My buddies in China.
Yeah, they
My buddies in China?
Yeah,
Biden's buddies, not mine.
Biden's buddies, your buddies. Hey, look, apparently they're somebody's buddy. Because they started swabbing people in the butt.
Can you fill me in on this? I mean, I know you kind of teased me about it, but I heard about it. Yeah, they swabbed our.
Yeah, they're anal swabbing now.
Anal swabbing them, like.
Yeah. Apparently,
the Chinese must know something we don't, because we're not doing that. Maybe we should.
No. I don't know. But they anal swabbed U.S. authority diplomats in China. The U.S. has actually asked the Chinese government to refrain from having the U.S. diplomats anal swab.
That was a personal dig. That's embarrassing. But
yeah,
are they doing that to everybody in China?
Supposedly they are. I mean, apparently it's supposed to the virus stays longer in your anal cavities. Really? So they could detect it.
Oh, man.
That way.
So now effectively, let me get this right, Frank. This is major news. If I rip a good big loud fart, I might infect the entire room.
Hell yeah.
We're all screwed. See?
And we're all.
Now I need to follow the science again. What am I going to do? Clench my butt? Hey, dude. Oh, man. Follow the science. Don't fart. Whatever.
Well, I was looking around for coronavirus news just for the show.
It's always good to check up on that, but I mean the news is always a mixed bag. It's like no pun intended, but it's like tossed salad.
Well, talking about salad being tossed, I mean, prostitutes, in Nevada are having issues, I guess, huh? Pandemic makes prostitution taboo in Nevada's legal brothels.
And believe it or not, I mean, I don't care what your stance is on prostitution. It's legal in Nevada, so it's legal. Plain and simple. But they're getting the shaft. And I read in the same article, dentists, and like other up close industries are open. So this goes back to my point about inconsistency. Like, why do some businesses get to stay open and others don't? This is a virus. It pretty much has a way of working, a way of spreading, and yet they just treat these things inconsistently. And it's again, there's a reason why nobody has faith in the message. And then this whole nonsense about if Trump would have told us the truth. We're into this a year now and a month with Biden, and they're still, quote unquote, trying to tell us the truth. And the truth sounds different every day. It's crap. It's crap. Garbage. So, I mean, people lose faith and they start doing what they want. And this is what we have, masks, no masks, 2 masks, diapers, whatever, again, now farts. So you're muted, buddy.
You're wearing a diaper? Actually, I muted myself for the fact that I'm not sure if you guys noticed earlier. I was drinking water and I nearly choked on my water. And I've been coughing ever since.
Nah, man, you let me go on a rant here about
Josh, our stimulus check eventually will get here. When, I don't know, but eventually they're gonna get here. So
excuse me.
Yeah, but we're gonna take a quick break. for a right second, just listen to these little commercials we have here. They're part of the CMG network.
The good stuff's coming.
Crest Media. We're over 30 podcasts in. We have shows from murder mysteries to politics, sports, travel, you name it. Yes, we're gonna be right back as we play these two commercials, and we're gonna come back with Tech Cruz. And we
Looking
have
for a casual baseball podcast to listen to? Well, Baseball with the Bard, presented by Clovercrest Media, has just what you're looking for. Tyler Bard and Noah Cross cover a wide range of happenings in the MLB, and then dive into a deep focus on the Red Sox and Yankees. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your weekly dose of Baseball with the Bard.
I love wiffle ball. No other way to explain it. Just something about the game, the feel of the grass, smacking that ball all over the field, making plays, diving head first, whatever it takes to get the job done. That's what wiffle ball means to me. Striking out grown men, watching their knees buckle on a called third strike. Sit out, bud. And then, of course, the home runs, the base hits, the big home runs at the big moments. That's a whiff of greatness. Join us all season long for the Joe Aguirre Story, a CMG podcast.
That never gets old. That never gets old.
That is Joe Aguirre. For you guys to know, Joe Aguirre, he's the man behind Clovercrest Media.
He makes it happen. He's granted us this opportunity, and we're always ever thankful.
Yeah. So, we're going to go into Ted Cruz for a minute.
Here we go. Ted Cruz.
Yes, Ted Cruz.
Uh-huh.
Explain to me, man. How could this guy go ahead and, in the middle of a snowstorm or weather, guy picks up and goes to Mexico?
I've thought about this, and I'm going to just say it this way. Ted Cruz's mistake, in my opinion, wasn't going to Mexico. Ted Cruz's mistake was the crap excuses he gave for why. That's when even I cringed. I'm like, dude, just shut up. Seriously, don't even talk about it. The fact that he went, Frank, doesn't bother me. And here's why. And this might be a Florida thing. Frank, if we know there's a Cat 3, 4, 5 hurricane coming, what do? We leave.
We prepare.
We leave.
Right.
So he saw that there was going to be a massive freeze, and he left. That is no big deal. That is a bunch of crap. And so to me, I think Ted Cruz's story is more of a distraction from the crap Cuomo's going through.
Carlos, hold on 1 second. Laura, just so you understand, Cuomo has gotten the press coverage. He's probably gotten more coverage than what Ted Cruz has. I've seen it. I don't agree with Cuomo or Cuomo, whatever the hell you want to call him. Okay? Because he is an ass.
They had a graph though. I saw a graph on one of the shows where they talked about time devoted to per person. The news stations gave 2-3 minutes to Cuomo and literally spent 20 minutes talking about Cruz. The bottom line is this, at least in my opinion.
Well, if you listen to Fox,
no. Well,
I guarantee you,
if you listen to the others, you didn't hear about Cuomo. You barely heard about him. And so, but yes, they did report. See, I love that. The fact that they mention it, quote unquote, means they reported it. But I think we've all learned the difference between reporting and drilling. And so Ted Cruz has been all over the map. The news was dry on Republican stories, and so Ted Cruz gave them like some bloody meat, and that's all they needed. They were like, "Oh, forget Cuomo. Look what Cruz did," and the IDGAF factor has kicked in on Cruz, and no one cares anymore. He's making jokes about it now on CPAC. They don't want to deal with the fact that, at least in my opinion, they don't want to deal with the fact that they have a mayor or a governor who was, oh God, they kissed his butt for months because of all that garbage PowerPoint presenting and all his chats and his talks. They gave him an Emmy. He wrote a book. And now we're finding out the dude's a murderer and a sexual harasser or assaulter. They don't want to face that.
Yeah, I heard something.
Where's Me Too?
I haven't even.
Where's Me Too? Where's Believe Her? They're nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found. So when I hear this nonsense about, oh, there's no media preference, that's garbage. I will never subscribe to it. I won't. It is true. You're right. They have covered it. But again, Frank, I can say something and technically say I covered it, or you can Russia collusion the crap out of it and then tell me you covered it. All right. So,
I covered
it. It got covered.
I
said it.
We just spoke about him, right? We just spoke about Cuomo. We covered him.
But Cruz was a bunch of overhype. That a Republican hadn't screwed up in a while, and they jumped on it. They jumped on it.
But he wasn't the only Republican to screw up in Texas.
Okay, yeah. You told me about that other mayor.
Yeah, the mayor of Colorado City. The mayor of Colorado City, Texas.
He flipped. Okay? I read that tweet.
I'm gonna read the tweet that he wrote. Okay, verbatim. Okay, so you all could go ahead and just be like, all right. So Tim Boyle wrote, "Let me hurt some feelings while I have a minute. No one owes you and your family anything, nor is it the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Sink or swim choice. The city and the county, along with power providers and other services, owes you nothing." Like in caps. "I'm sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout. If you don't have electricity, you're set up and came up with a game plan. You set up and come up with a game plan to keep your family warm and safe. If you have no water, yeah, right. If you have no water, you deal without. And damn, I can't even freaking see this. You deal without and think outside of the box to survive and supply water to your family. If you're sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and are sitting there and waiting for someone to come rescue you because you're lazy, it's direct result of your raising. Only the strong will survive and the weak will perish. Folks, God has given us the tools to support ourselves in times like this. This is sadly a product of social government where they feed people to believe the few will work and others will become dependent for handouts. I am sorry that you have been dealing without electricity and water. Yes, but I'll be damned if I'm going to provide for anyone that is capable of doing it themselves. We have lost sight of those in need and those that take advantage of the system and mesh them into one group. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for a handout. Get off your ass and take care of your own family."
You got to ask yourself, what possesses a politician to type all of that? Like,
Look,
what was he dealing with prior to?
Dude, that's one of those.
Like, he said too many of the quiet parts out loud. Listen, there's no excuse for that. I mean, I don't care, what your position is. You got to take care of your city. You got to take care of your city. That is irresponsible. However, had he left,
he resigned.
It wouldn't have bothered me either. No, he had to resign. You're not going to get out of that. You're not going to get out of that at all.
Look, but Cruz, in a moment where you have weather going on like that, okay, yeah, are you going to have some people that might want to go ahead and get the free handout just because possible? Okay, but when you're looking at, you're in the middle of a natural disaster. Because that's pretty much what happened in Texas.
Absolutely. And one that they're
no
not
doubt.
prepared for or used to. Like, I don't care what Texas would have done. There's no way they would have gotten ready for that. No way.
Correct. No.
So,
I mean, look, even when we have these the hurricanes,
yeah,
that we've prepared for. Hey, I'm sure
you know.
Yeah, but Carlos, you lived through Andrew.
I did, and so did you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lived through Andrew.
Uh-huh.
Pretty Miami got demolished,
trashed.
We got trashed during Andrew.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, did we prepare? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
At the time, and it's like, and I said Texas is not prepared for snow. They're not.
No.
I lived in Texas.
That's why I found it amusing. I found it amusing when people started pointing fingers at fossil fuels and wind turbines. I don't care what you have. Your state's not ready for that. You're going to feel this. My issue is the same, though. Ted Cruz leaving to Cancun is no big deal. The man is not going to stand there at the border of Texas like Moses at the Red Sea and be like, parting the weather system so it doesn't avoid. No. That was just media meat. That's all it was. Garbage. His excuses about trying to be a good dad and all that, though.
Yeah.
I can't give him a pass. That's just stupid. He should have just been up front and said, yeah, I left and what? I'm back. Let's get to business. But no, that's when you start digging your hole. Like when you start, fumbling up with all these garbage lines. Republicans need to stop doing that. I get tired of Republicans making excuses. Just look at the camera and tell them straight up, it don't matter. Get out of my face. Be done. So that's that.
Yeah.
That's
so we're going to go on to that wonderful topic that blew up on our group page. But listen, people, if you like what you're hearing, tag somebody, share it, tag somebody you think needs to hear this. It could be your mom,
just
your
wants to
dad,
have fun talking
sister,
and
or
debating
someone that needs
without
to
getting
understand
trashed or
what
slammed.
talking is. And that's what this group is about. We're gonna sit here, we're gonna talk. We don't have to always agree, but we're gonna talk. So again, share it, like it, follow our page, share our page on all social media platforms. But going on, Republicans are outraged that Biden reopened the building.
Let me clarify. Republicans aren't necessarily outraged. I mean, I think what Republicans are more outraged about is the hypocrisy of the coverage. Yeah, kids. No, Laura. They're not in cages.
They're not in cages.
They are not.
They're not in cages.
They are migrant facilities.
That's fine. They're migrant facilities. But have you sat there and you read the articles as far as to how they're doing it now? They have.
Yeah. So I studied this, Frank. I dissected it, and I think the issue for conservatives is this. I think the only difference from what I'm seeing between then and now is that at one point Trump's policy made it mandatory. So because of the situation, that's why they called it zero tolerance. And so that's what started the uproar. Fine. I'll give you that. The issue we're having is the volume and tone of the coverage. When we started hearing about these kids in cages, first of all, they were called cages. Second of all, they were bombarding us with pictures from 2014 with kids who were sleeping on the floor with aluminum foil for blankets, which all of that turned out to be a bunch of bullshit. That wasn't Trump. That didn't happen during Trump, but that's what they fed us until they got called out for it. And then you had like politicians running down there. You had AOC crying at a fence while she was looking at a bunch of Jeeps. All right. So the media did what they could to feed us a bunch of garbage about what was going on when it wasn't. And so now that Biden has to open up migrant facilities, number one, They're no longer cages, even though we're talking about the same exact facilities that Democrat politicians lined up and down and started crying and screaming about. Now it's a migrant facility. I even noticed in the article, Washington Post even put this in to kind of soften the blow. Quote, the most colorful trailer is at the entryway where flowers, butterflies, and handmade posters still hang on its walls from Carrizo's first opening in 2019. I didn't hear about no damn butterflies at the entrance back in 2018. In 2019,
so maybe there were no butterflies.
There were. It's been there since it first.
Maybe there's butterflies now.
The article. No, see that. Oh, no. Again, what the issue we're having is the same issue we're always complaining about: media coverage, depending on who's in charge. And here we go. So now they're migrant facilities, and we just it's just tiring. It's tiring.
You know what?
And so then there's the other hypocrisy. Let me just finish. The other hypocrisy of, all right, so you didn't agree with zero tolerance, but before zero tolerance, kids were still being put in cages. They did it at discretion. So are you upset about kids in cages or not? You're just upset about when it's zero tolerance and when it's not zero tolerance. I find the lack of consistency irritating. And so that's where we are. Now they're all making excuses. I talk to my friends. And they're like, oh, well, they're just planning and blah, 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 and making excuses. No, they're open. It said it right there in the Washington Post article, like the Post. I typed it. It is getting ready. It's open. It's being reactivated, the whole 700 kids. There's no outrage. There's no outrage because, and I get tired of the excuses. You were mad when they were called cages, but now they're called facilities. You showed us garbage pictures from 2014. Now you want to make sure you put in the article that there's flowers and butterflies at the entrance. That's what's got us irritated. But we knew that was coming once Biden won. That the coverage for anything he does now is just going to be like Febreze. It smells great.
Well, the thing, Carlos, I mean, look.
I have spoken.
No, yeah.
Go on.
Look, this is the deal, man. It's Trump's actions and his mouth, okay, gave the news media a lot to talk. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It did. Don't look at me all funny because you know I'm right. Because
it doesn't help that he's a Republican, but go ahead. Yeah, I mean,
no.
The fact that he's direct, the fact that he's direct didn't help any, but that's what many of us enjoyed, actually.
Correct. All right.
So go on.
So when you have that where he was on everybody's radar on a constant basis, he was because blah 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 blah. He never knew when to shut up. Okay. Biden
doesn't know when to talk.
Okay.
He gets told what to say.
I don't know about all that. But if you want to think that,
oh man, that
your
guy
God's
reads
given
like
right.
nobody's business.
As I'm going to put it, it's your God, as my brother put it, it's religious freedom.
Listen, I'm just going to put it to you this way, Frank. And this is going to be a recurring theme, and you're going to see it time and time again. There's going to be stories. There's going to be events, and we're not even getting into all of them. I touched on Cuomo. You said they covered Cuomo, and I agreed with you. They did. But if Cuomo was a Republican, I guarantee you the coverage would be 10 times as much, 10 times as bad, and there'd be a bunch of protests by his office from the Me Too and Believe Her crowd. I hear crickets. Sure, they mentioned it. I hear crickets. This thing with the facility, it's already about tone and tenor. All right. In 2018 or whatnot, when it started, we were shown bullshit pictures from 2014, and they kept the term cages. I am now reading an article from the Post where they're describing the same exact facility where AOC was crying her butt off, trying to make us believe that she was weeping for children when she was crying to a bunch of Jeeps. And they're talking about flowers and butterflies at the entranceway, right? We're going to continue to ride this hypocrisy train. And it's just natural because of what we, at least when I speak for conservatives or whatever, feel that we were, or the way stories were presented the last 4 years. We're going to call out every time they sugarcoat this crap. And so, and let's not even get into the Syrian airstrikes. That's next week. But again, it's happening there too. And I'll be happy to dissect that next week. So
yeah, I mean,
that right there is the outrage more than anything. And if you look at the articles that are out there regarding the migrant facilities, a lot of it is just basically, most of it from what I read, or at least from the searches, was Republicans or Republican media outlets calling the Washington Post out for that article. They had to actually come up with a second article to defend their logic, I think. So that's really what it is. That's really what it is. It's just calling out the hypocrisy and the niceness of what is the same phenomenon, more or less. Again, the only difference is the policy. It's not mandatory. They took away zero tolerance, but they're still opening it up. They've got a designated number of youths going in. And I mean, if you're looking at the Post article, you could even see tweets from both sides. They're slamming the decision. They're slamming the decision.
Right, but look, but the thing is that, they did mention in the article that the sites did have to be open due to the coronavirus. All right, I mean, whether that's true or not is yet to be seen. I'm not yet to be seen, but I think, probably opening it might be the best thing for the sake of the coronavirus and the pandemic. It's what they're saying as to why it was open.
No outrage. It's quiet.
I'm
hearing
quiet.
Crickets.
It is quiet. It is quiet.
And again,
and that's good.
What we were under the impression of was they were upset about the kids being in the cages and Trump's zero tolerance policy. Well, kids are going back in the cages. That is happening.
I don't
the policy's gone.
It's only going to hold children between 13 to 17 years of age.
That doesn't change anything.
At least they're not little kids.
Bring back the pictures then. Show me the kids wrapped up in aluminum foil then. Try to make me believe that that's what's happening now when it wasn't. I'm just, dude.
Well, I think time will let it. Within time, we're going to see exactly what's going on.
But we've seen it.
Maybe the kids are not going to be in cages, Carlos.
They never. That's the thing, though. These were facilities. They had beds. They had TVs. There were stories about how these kids were being treated in there, and it wasn't all that bad. The issue, Frank, is what we were shown. What we were shown at the beginning, like when it first started under Trump, we were shown a bunch of kids sleeping on the floor behind fences wrapped up in aluminum foil. That did not happen under Trump, but they didn't tell anybody that.
How do you have proof?
Oh, yes, that was.
I mean,
that was.
I don't know.
That was verified.
I've never
those
seen
pictures are from 2014. Those pictures are from 2014. So that's the message. That's the package they gave us at first. So that's where the whole term of kids in cages came in. But now it's not a cage. It's a facility. We're talking about the same exact place. It says it in the article right there. It's the same exact article or same exact place that opened under the Trump administration. But they just kept showing you that same crap image from 2014. I'm just telling you, what the issue we're having, and we're just going to keep calling it out, is tone, tenor, and presentation of problems now that we have a new president. And I don't care that Trump is a vulgar machine. It's just we see the hypocrisy, and it's pretty bad. And so they're getting called out. Washington Post is getting their butts called out for it, and rightfully so. They deserve to be creamed for this migrant facilities.
Yeah. So we don't got a lot of time left, but I do want to touch on this one, and it's our WTF files.
Oh, the WTF article.
Yeah. All right.
That was crazy.
This is a big.
I ran into
when
that.
There was a man in, where was he? Oklahoma,
yeah.
Oklahoma.
You guys gotta hear this.
I gotta see if I'm able to get to this page because I think I closed them off.
So,
but either way,
yeah,
this guy decides to, I think it was,
he cut out someone's heart and tried to feed it to his family. He cooked it, or he cooked it and tried to feed
he
it to
cooked
his
it with
family.
potatoes. All right, and he tried to feed it to his family. This guy, I know why I didn't open it, because, anyways, this guy tried to feed it to his family. The guy was let out of jail early. All right, so he
When
went ahead.
probation backfires.
That's a big probation backfire. He cooked the heart and potatoes, tried to feed it to his family. He ended up then killing the aunt and the uncle. So go figure. You know, that's our WTF story of the day. How could you go ahead and
Well,
try to feed a heart to
I
somebody?
think I think it signals the need for more attention to mental health. I mean, you just don't do that unless you're missing a few. And I know I've been public about my disapproval of universal health care, but I am willing to concede that we do somehow need to address some of the mental health issues in this country, and the fact that there are quite a few people roaming out there who are capable of feeding their own families other people's hearts.
Well, it's funny you say that. And I know we're going a little over here, and I'm sorry, Chase, but this whole mental health. I was on my way home from work,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to somebody, and he was like, the guy I had living in my apartment, and he had the guy living in his apartment for over 20, 30 years, for a long time. He was another gentleman. He was like, he shot himself.
All right.
And I told this guy, I'm like, what do you mean he shot himself? He's like, yeah, he shot himself. We're talking about a gentleman that he was older. I mean, he had to have been in his upper 70s, maybe.
Anita might have a point there.
Oh no, yeah, I think everyone needs therapy.
We all
And
need
look,
therapy.
hey, look, you want therapy? Come see us on Friday nights.
Talk to me.
Talk to Carlos. But this guy, which I know him, and I was, and when I was told that he shot himself, I was dumbfounded, because I was like, how could this guy go ahead and shoot himself? Why? So then I was just told, well, he was old. He was complaining of illnesses that he had.
Just got tired of it.
But I'll tell you, to really want to take your life, and to take your life in that manner, you got to have a set of balls.
Yeah. I mean,
I knew someone that they tried to take their life, they failed.
I think most people do.
Right.
Men are more committed to it. Like when they decide to do it, they are more prevalent to actually finishing the job.
Right. Well, this guy pulled the trigger. This guy pulled the trigger. So I was like, wow. But for this gentleman, I was left in like, wow, and like, oh, like, my God, he why would he do that? And
you'd be surprised.
No, I mean, look, when this was, I want to say about maybe 4 years ago, it might have been,
right,
or maybe less. I got a phone call from my oldest son's grandfather.
Okay.
Calls me up. Hey, I want to talk to him. And I'm like, hey, what's up? My brother knows what I'm talking about. So, I got that phone call. And the old man was like, hey, look, I've decided not to keep on living. I'm getting off my meds. I'm getting off my respirator. And I'm tired of going in and out of the hospital. And I remember I told this guy, I'm like, look, is this something you really want to do? I mean, you still got life. You still got life ahead of you. And and he said it. He's like, I'm tired.
That's
And he
that.
was a
Yeah,
he
that's
was in
what they
his
usually say. Is,
early
I'm
80s,
tired.
more or less. And that's exactly what he said. He's like, I'm tired.
It's hard for us to rationalize that, Frank. But if you put yourself in someone's shoes, and I mean, I'm sorry. I assume he followed through. He passed away.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to imagine that because most of us, we're young, we're vibrant, or we're still kicking, we're good. We still have things, to do and give. But when you have that kind of existence where everything you do is just a drag, and you're taxing not just yourself but other people, and there just doesn't seem to be a way out, man, those famous words, I'm tired and I'm done, they come out. Like, it's all nice to be alive, but what's the point if you feel your existence is nothing but an absolute drag and miserable and misery? It's and again, I would have preferred your friend not chosen that route, but we don't know. We can't imagine what's going on in someone's head to get to that point. But the way you're describing it, I mean, it just sounds like at some point he was like, enough of this crap. And that happens a lot, like in hospitals too. You have people who are sick and they're being kept alive by a machine, and they'll look at their loved ones and say, please just end this. Like,
No, yeah. I could tell you that I would never want to be tied to a machine or
no,
live off of a machine
yeah.
because that's not good for my family, or anybody. I wouldn't want to live like that.
I've told my kids, look, when we all get older, if I get to a point where I feel that you're having to constantly like look after me and take care of me, leave me alone. Like, seriously, I do not in any way, shape, or form want to be a drag on my kids. And if it ever gets to the point where I'm being like somehow kept alive by something, or medication is helping me and my kids are constantly having to check on me, I'll be like, dude, just stop giving me this medicine. Let me just go. When I'm ready to go, I'm done. I don't want to do this.
But hold on.
That's just me, though. That's just me.
But in that case, you have to also look at, what.
Wow.
I mean, are you living just on medicine? Are you still active, or are you just laying in a bed?
Yeah.
I mean,
so obviously, those are factors. Yeah, but if I'm moving around, then my kids aren't really all that worried. Like, I know that I don't have my kids constantly coming in to see if I fell, face first on the floor and I'm stuck there, or if I left the stove on and I'm ready to burn my house down. But if I'm at that point where it's hard to get out of my seat or hard to get out of bed, I can barely take care of myself, I'm constantly wetting stuff, and I need medicine to keep cholesterol down or something. It's just basically you're at that point where your kids are worried from one day to the next whether you're going to make it or not. I would be like, just stop. When it happens, it happens. But I'm done with all this maintenance, and I'm done dragging you down. So that's just me, though. But
again, right? I mean, again, that all depends on how you on how you are as an individual.
No, of course.
Because look, if I'm, I've always told my kids and to my family that's listening, if I'm a veggie, you know what? Cut me off.
Of course. I wouldn't want to stick around as a veg either.
This is how simple it is. Cremate me, get my ashes, put them in bullets. Okay? Go to the gun range with my guns.
Chop me up, put me in the barbecue grill, save yourself the money.
No. With my ashes, you reload my ashes with gunpowder, put me in a couple bullets. You know what? Go to the range.
Look,
shoot me off.
You got a willing participant here who's more than ready to help you.
Oh no, and Anita's my cousin.
He's
my cousin.
She's ready.
He would be more than willing.
Like, yes.
Shoot me. That's her dad's favorite word. Hey, look, Anita, tune in next week, because next week we're gonna talk about our stupidest moment.
Oh boy!
All right, yeah, that was a funny part. Hey, Anita went rolling down the street, but we'll leave that
for next week then.
For sure. We'll talk about that. And but yeah, that being said, I mean, hey guys, thank you for coming on board for the
Another
show.
great show, another great audience. Thank you everybody for coming out. I hope you've enjoyed conversing. I know it's rare. It's like, I'm sure when people log off, they're like, wow, I actually talked to people and it didn't turn into a shit show. Amazing. So I appreciate everyone who's come out. I appreciate our producer Jace for keeping the show going. CMG, as always, for allowing us the space and making it happen. There'll be more crap to talk about next week. We've kind of got things lined up, but who knows what's going to happen between now and next Friday. So be ready. We'll always tease on our page about what we might be talking about. I know I drop pictures and articles, and so does Frank. So continue to hang with us, make the community grow. We just want people to enjoy conversation and debate without getting into insults and stupidity and cancellations. This ain't the place. This ain't the zone. So that's all I gotta say, man. I'm glad. Thank you, everybody. Frank, close it up.
Look, right, real quick before I close up. Our show is here, so we're able to talk. But we wouldn't have a show if you guys are not there in our comments. Okay, because we feed off of what you guys are telling us.
Absolutely, you guys rock.
So again, we want to make this show go bigger than what it is. We're pretty much a month and a half into it. Actually, we're almost 2 months into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I say, guys, share it with whoever you think needs to hear this. Share it with people that don't even need to hear it. Okay, just share it. Where the plan is to come up with merchandise. So we're gonna come up with things. We're gonna come up with a contest. Everything is just in the work. But tune in next week.
We'll be
come
here.
Visit.
Come talk with us.
Come visit clovercrestmedia.com. We have
and enjoy a lot of their other shows
30,
too. It's a healthy network full of good shows.
We have over 30 different shows ranging from basketball, wrestling, politics murder mysteries, vacation, family things. It's the group is getting bigger and bigger and bigger each week.
Yeah, so just hit the like button. You'll get notifications on when podcasts are going to start. And they got it's a good variety of shows. So
look, I could tell you that on Mondays you have Divided We Stand. You have I'll Piss You Off Shortly. All right, which it starts at 8:00 with Divided We Stand. I'll Piss You Off Shortly is at 9. On Tuesdays you have the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. On Wednesdays you have the Ivy League Murders. And I believe it's Thursdays and Saturdays you have the Posting Up Basketball podcast. You have on Wednesdays All Four Downs. You have Two Keys to the City. And the list goes on and on and on. People,
Carlos,
you know what? Carlos is. I guarantee you that Carlos is going to do that every.
I'm sure we're going to break down Trump's speech at CPAC next week.
But hey, you might not agree with what we're speaking, or you might agree with what we're speaking. But at the end of the day, Carlos and I will always be speaking it real. See you next week.
Nice. Good night, everybody.
Clovercrest Media Group presents a CMG podcast. Keys to the City.
Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know.
Crossed up by Kobe, little floater to Shaq, and then Shaq goes like this, and the rest is history. Pay attention. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman. Speaking of those Lakers, hold on. But I didn't make I said Denver's gonna win. Yeah, you did. You said that. There's no other show like that.
Clovercrest is doing great things right now.
Streaming everywhere.